Look at these ducks. They're not afraid of that alligator one bit. One bit at all.
I would take the first two options. Proxy war or Cold War. But I wouldn't like a full global war or the nuclear option. Hello everybody, welcome back. Oh, watch out. Alright everyone, welcome back. Oh man, my nose is runny. I popped the antihistamine pill. The tree pollen is heavy today, probably for the rest of the month. And so popped the antihistamine pill. My nose is running like crazy. I'm also going to do some yard work, so make the most out of it. Every time I do yard work, I get like hay fever later on the night, and so I just take it while right before I do any outdoor activity. It's actually better that way. They say, you know, I heard that you're supposed to take it like a day before, but it wears off. It wears off so fast, so I just pop it right before I go out. It seems to do better. So, back to this potential World War III. Yeah, World War III, people, that's a reality. Could be potential reality. Like I said, there's only three outcomes. Proxy war, Cold War. I'll take the first two, I don't mind. The third option, well, there's actually four options, but the three options, full-scale global war. The fourth option is the nuclear option, which is not a good deal for anybody except the third world countries. They may benefit, they may come out on top after all the fighting's over. But all the first world countries, that's a bad option. That's like going backwards. You're going to take a first world country and you're going to turn it into a third world country. The nuclear option is a no-go. Even for Russia, nuclear option is a no-go. Unless they're losing, which they may do it. So you're not going to get a clear loser. All right? No country, no superpower is going to be taken over. While all the superpowers, the nuclear countries that have nuclear weapons, they're not going to be taken over, okay? They're going to be weakened greatly, a lot, but they're not going to be taken over. They'll still be around. So you can't push a nuclear country into a corner too much. Sorry, a lot of traffic, a lot of dust. Now that this dump truck is in front of me. Oh, geez. So, yeah, but that's a possibility. You know, is everybody ready for the apocalypse? If the nuclear option is taken. So I'm glad I have my rifles and my guns and my ammo and my body armor. I'm missing a helmet. I should probably get a helmet. But not that I didn't see it come this way, but not that I didn't see this war coming, potential global conflict, but I'm probably going to get like a helmet. Yeah, body armor and helmet. Yes, I'm probably going to get a helmet. That's probably going to be my next purchase. Body armor, I thought it was enough, you know. Like having helmets kind of overboard, especially for like, you know, domestic, civil unrest. But now that I realize there's potential for global war and possibly a nuclear option, that's very real. We've never been in a war where the nuclear option was ever on the table. Just that one time during the end of World War II. So, in this option, in this new war, there's a lot of people that have that option. So we're finally going to test our humanity on whether, how far to the Stone Ages we want to go, how far backwards do we want to go. And there's people out there that's willing to take it all the way. There's countries out there and leaders of the countries out there that would like to take us all the way back more than a century. To a millennium. Like to go backwards a millennium. All right. Anyways, so yeah. Either option is not good. Any option is not good. But if I had to take, I would take the first two options: proxy war or Cold War. But I wouldn't like a full global war or the nuclear option. It doesn't make sense. But you never know. You know, we're talking about restructuring, reorganizing of the world order. So whoever comes out on top, if it ever goes to full-scale war and maybe nuclear option, well, you get to control, you get to influence the world for the next probably, 50 to 100 years. So that's quite an ambition. That's an ambition for any world leader to take on. Some people salivate for that. It's really nice and warm here. It is pretty cold, pretty chilly, but being in the sun, if you stop riding and get away from the wind, be in the sun, it's really nice and warm out here. Yeah, spring is right around the corner. I think the low is in the 30s, but once it gets up into the highs go back up to the 70s and 80s, spring is right around the corner. I'm sure some of you electric bike riders, quote unquote electric bike riders, can't wait for spring to come around. Come on. You're already there. You're already in my way. All right. So yeah, I would anticipate when spring comes around, summer comes around, that's when most likely the shit's gonna hit the fan. Because right now it's winter in Ukraine. It's hard to move around. It's hard to move around in that winter snow. And then when spring comes around, it gets kind of muddy. So it's hard to move around in that if they're not using the roads. Which I suspect if things go bad for Ukraine, they'll sabotage the roads, they'll sabotage the infrastructure. It's a slash and burn and retreat technique. My guess, I don't think Ukraine's going to survive. Okay, they're not going to keep, I don't think Ukrainians are going to keep Kiev. It's just symbolic, you know, you take the capital. I think Russia will take Kiev. I think the resistance will stay behind, but the majority of the fighting force they'll retreat back to the west, close to the border of whatever, Poland or whatever they're next to, Switzerland, or I'm not sure what. I'm not great on geography, you know. And another thing, geography is a key thing in combat warfare. Geography kind of determines a lot of outcome, believe it or not. So, but yeah, that's what I think will happen. Proxy war, if it's a proxy / Cold War, I think the first thing that's going to happen is Russia will take Kiev, and they'll take over half the country where the river splits Ukraine in half. The river that goes all the way from Kiev, from basically Belarus, or is it Belarus? Yeah. Belarus down all the way to Crimea. And at least the Russians, I'm pretty sure that's what the Russians are really, that's what they really want. They want that much, at least. And if it splits, if Ukraine comes, if Ukraine becomes like an East-West Germany kind of thing, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a proxy war, and then maybe a Cold War. If things settle down, if Russia backs off after taking half of Ukraine, things settle down, you got the Cold War right there. And then it's just a matter of what country, or which side is going to manage their resources better and wait for the other to collapse. That's all it is. That's the Cold War. And if it's a proxy war, if Russia wants all of Ukraine, then it becomes a proxy war. If it gets to a point, and this is where it could become a global war. I mean, you got China still in the mix. China still wants Taiwan. They could come out of nowhere and just invade Taiwan. Now you got a scenario here where you got Eastern Europe and Asia going out at it. So I mean, that just complicates stuff way too much. And North Korea and Iran, oh my God. But anyways, at present time, if it does become a global war, most likely it'll become a global war because if the Ukrainian forces get pushed back into Europe, that's where you can get global war, because Ukrainians will go into Europe, retreat, reorganize, and strike back from Europe, which would cause the Russians to declare war on Europe, because Europe is already like supporting Ukraine. So he's going to have to declare war at that point. That's how World War III can start right there, just on that. And then if you had China into the mix, at that point, man, China is going to just invade Taiwan, I think. That's my personal opinion, but, you know, what do I know? I know nothing. Okay, I'm clear. Anyways, I hope things don't get so bad. I'm hoping things don't get so bad that I have to be drafted into the army, into the armed forces, all right? If I have to be drafted into the armed forces, things are bad. Okay, I'm already old. I'm old, all right? I tell people I'm old. But there's a chance that you can be drafted. If you're young and you filled out that selective service card, yeah, you're going to be drafted. I wonder if all the women out there want to be drafted, fight out in the war. All you feminists out there. It's kind of funny when we're at peace and all they could do is riot, do civil rioting, civil disobedience. The women want to be equal rights, right? They want to get paid the same. But when war breaks out, all of a sudden, all these feminists become matriarchs. I think I'm saying it right, matriarchs. All of a sudden, these women, these feminists, they don't want to go to war. They believe a woman's place is at home, raising kids. Yeah. Yeah, all of a sudden when your life is at risk of, when your life is at risk, you don't want to be there. I find that hilarious. And all these groups that talk about being equal, I wonder how they feel when you have to get drafted. They probably would be like, well, we don't want to be equal in that way. Yeah. So all you people who want equality and everything, well, you're going to get equality. The equal opportunity to die for your country. Anyways, I'm going to enjoy the ride now. I hope you like this. I hope you like this episode. Some people don't like to talk about politics and religion and all that. Most of the time because they're ignorant. They don't know what's really happening, what's really going on. I like to stay up. I like to stay up to date on this because that way I can make appropriate moves, appropriate actions. I can do things that is going to be in my best interest. Ooh. Man, my nose is running. Tree pollen is crazy out here. I can see when I went out, when I took the bike out, I could see the pollen on all over the place. I had to wipe it down a little bit. All right, I'm going to enjoy the ride. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Consider joining membership. I have those gift card giveaways. Use them. I think Jamba Juice, Dunkin' Donuts, and maybe something else. I'm not sure. I'll keep riding a little bit. Hope that this was insightful for all you people who are ignorant to the world and don't understand how things really get done. All right. I'm going to end the video here. Please like, share, comment. Bye-bye.